saving space.
We were naive.
Did Bob tell you I called him? Oh. I was just gonna say, what I'd like to do is have quarterly meetings at the courthouse. Just be sure everybody's on the same page and we have things ahead of time. Matter of fact, so matter of fact, he added the agenda.
Oh,
Yeah, that's on the page.
What's up? Oh, they have printouts with them. They have printouts with them.
Oh! We got a bunch of extras then, if anybody needs them.
I can just take them and put them with the file then.
I'll use one as a cheat sheet. There you go, there's your.
But that way, I know there's time that I might call somebody, I might call.
I started doing that for you guys since you were coming from the other campus, so.
Definitely appreciate it, I'll let them know.
Now that we're all there.
yeah,
Yeah. And it's either there or working there.
yeah, very good. How you doing?
Oh, I-
Very good.
How you doing? You doing all right? Good.
Your days are numbered.
Here's a question we're going to be asking RFP. I said, you the chief.
This is good recovery, though.
I don't even say their complaints anymore because it's just like.
Oh, no, not the way you want to do that.
Because they just.
You're up there now.
Been doing all right?
So I got a question for you. On the but I feel like it's funny.
This is not that difficult.
I think she would first ask questions like that.
Well, I think it's part of where she's out and about. She finds herself.
Oh, she would be involved.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I would send Jill also, I also want to, because she's a teacher. So as far as developing something for.
The main focus was the attention was going to be on the schools, and then make sure all our special reps be.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. Not necessarily, I think there's still some things we work through. I think for the specific training issues, we wanted to make sure that one was somebody with our badge, that was ourselves, standing next to an active, in an active shooter situation or respond to one, that they would know how to act and how to respond.
All right, now that helps.
Yeah. So I think for now, let's work with her.
Yeah.
And then if there's worry about your ability, your
Five
ability to
attorneys in the
protect, right?
last week and a half.
Ish.
Ish.
Yeah, more or less.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Sheriff.
No, we lost five attorneys.
Hello, West.
Hi.
Yeah, well,
There you
a lot of
go.
them-
Hey,
a
Joe.
lot of them are going to
Pretty good, how about you?
Good.
Hello, Chief Taylor.
moving away.
Good. I'm the Lila. Nice to meet you.
Right here. You're the private party. It's okay.
All right, that helps.
You hear me here?
Yeah, I heard. Wait, I heard part of what you said.
Yeah, they get some
Sorry, what was that?
audio
Very well.
What did you say?
Little.
set up.
What did you say?
That's all.
Yeah, you'll figure it out, I'm sure.
That's not very handy.
Clerk.
But, you know, Shanklin's doing such an amazing job of keeping up their details.
Be long to be strong.
Yes.
It's 95 degrees outside, so I want to get home to the pool.
I don't blame you.
So we're adding more to temporary housing unit 2, we're going to start out dedicated only phone calls.
Yeah.
That's it.
I know when you
Present, we should have a quorum. I only know of 3 that said they won't be here. So,
About the in-person visitation.
and that's President Osley, Defender Hill, and Controller Ken Clark. And Judge Jones, sorry. He did not let me know if he wasn't going to be, but he hasn't.
Well, yeah, he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
It might have been a couple weeks ago.
He, said that, I think he heard the presentation
Long suffering.
at the meeting he, shares. I don't know, but anyway,
I didn't get that one, so I think, no.
I almost replied, I was like, oh, it's gonna happen, Sharon.
You got a great name. Really appreciate it. And now,
Yeah, Matt, it's supposed to be
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
when I'm sleeping.
Mr. Murray, you had a pretty eventful weekend.
Nice job the other week.
Thank you.
Brilliant.
It's my honor. If ever please let me know. Yeah, Mr. Prosecutor.
Great job on Friday, by the
That's
way.
what I was saying.
Yeah, really nice job.
For 12 years,
They've moved us around.
so I know a little bit about it.
Just a little bit.
You did a great job.
Thank you. It was truly my honor.
How are you
Just
guys?
happy to be able to
You guys look very ominous.
I just have hair.
Oh, I'm sure.
Is that West Virginia? How was that place? Did you fly or drive? I heard it's like French Lake, is that true?
I'm assembling.
Okay.
It's actually, it has a casino there, but it's a private casino.
Yeah. The cold got it, right? The cold.
Is that what I'm
Yeah, so I mean, all it was cold.
One night.
Sure, you did. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That is totally changed people's interest in sports.
We will need Mayor Hogsett or Counselor Renee. Okay. No, I know Andrew and Hillary went, so. And then Rodney couldn't go. He was like, oh no, I'm sorry, I forgot to let you know I already saw it, so I don't need to come.
Good afternoon. I now call the Criminal Justice Planning Council meeting to order. It is on June 21st, 2022. It is about 10 minutes after 4 o'clock. First item on the agenda is attendance, and for the sake of the meeting minutes and for the record, Wesley, would you please, well, I tell you what, we don't have to do that anymore. I'm still living in the virtual world. So beginning to my right, we will begin with introduction. So if each council member would please just state your name, your organization, that would be great.
Lauren Rodriguez, Office of Public Health and Safety.
Brian Mears, Marion County Prosecutor.
Mila Eldridge, Marion County Clerk.
Randall Taylor, Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department.
Kerry Forrestall, Marion County Sheriff.
Scott Hull, Marion County Community Corrections.
I forgot to add that I am also the chair of this great council. Thank you. Moving into the first agenda item would be approval of the April 18th, 2022 meeting minutes. You all should have received a copy via email, and I believe you have a copy in front of you as well. If there are no changes or amendments to the meeting minutes, I will entertain a motion to approve. Is there a motion?
I move to approve.
There's a second.
I second.
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye to approve the meeting minutes from the April 18th meeting.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. Meeting minutes are approved. Thank you. Moving right
Chairwoman,
on.
I apologize. I'm gonna have to go upstairs. I just got texted about an emergency.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
sorry.
sorry. I hope everything's okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it will be.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right, we're going to delve right into new business. First, next agenda item, we will be hearing from our very own Chief Randall Taylor. He will give us an IMPD, Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department update from, I believe, 2021, 2022. Chief Taylor, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to be all over the place for you guys, so hopefully you can keep up. So I will give you some statistics from 21 and 22, and then I'm going to also go over a little deeper statistical dive into some of the things that impact your IMPD, and then I will conclude with some information on some technological items that I think this board and the community will be interested in. So starting off, let's go over our murder numbers. As you know, we keep two sets of stats, typically murders and homicides. The difference is homicides may include justifiable killing, so self-defense is usually what we look at for that, where murders are just that. There's no justifiable reason for a person dying. So currently we're, year to date, we're at 99. I think we actually just hit 100 earlier today, but for this statistical purpose, 99 years to date, we had 111 this time last year. That's a reduction of about 10.81%. Homicides were at 103. Last year we were at 117. That's a difference of about 11.97%. So trending down, which is a good thing. Obviously, I want those numbers to be higher. And it fluctuates. We've been, this year we've been as high as about 25% down, but then we've been as low as about 8% down. So it fluctuates in there. But I think we're still moving in the right direction. From our homicides, I'll look at victims. 81.55% of our victims were male. 74.76% of our victims were black. The age range, the biggest age range of victims we had was 18 to 29, which is about 36.89%. And then black males made up 65% of those victims with an average age of about 31. For homicides, if we want to look at the hours, 10.68%, the hour was 0 to 100, which is 2 o'clock in the morning, is when we had most of them on the homicides. Of the known suspects, 89.47% were male. Average age of our suspect is 31. That takes into account white, black, and Hispanic. Age range, 18 to 29, about 49% of our victims. Non-fatal shootings are just that. We look at those as far as both victims and incidents. Going from January 1 of this year, comparing January 1 of this year to June 17th of this year. The number of incidents this year were 263. which is a difference of about 12.9% from last year, which was 302. And the number of victims, year-to-date, 304, which is down 10.9% from last year, which was at 341. Again, those numbers are trending in the right direction. We still have work to do, obviously, but again, we're moving in the right direction. So as far as the makeup of the IMPD, I will give you some information on that as well. Currently, we're at 1,650. I should say that was our beginning strength. We're at 1,627. We have a lot of room for additional officers. You know, we are actually budgeted for 1,843. So that's 200 officers that we would like to have. Average age of the department, I think, is about 42 years of age. That's better than it has been, but as you know, when you're getting up to that range, and especially as you get up towards 50, that's about the time we're starting to lose people. So obviously we have to consider that. 251, which is the largest single number of our officers, have been on from 3 years and under up to about 16 to 19 years of service. That's the largest number. We do have officers at 32 years and over. There's about 55 of them that are between 55 and 59 years of age. 28 of them are from 60 to 64, and 4 of them are 65 to 69. We do, in most of our situations, we have a 70-year cutoff. So those are down and dirty kinds of stats for the department. I'll leave you with this. We spoke, just like we did before when we started body cameras. We did a pilot program before those were ultimately purchased, and we had meetings with the community. There are 3 vendors that we'll be using for a pilot program for, I'll call it ShotSpotter, but let's call it gunshot detection. ShotSpotter is indeed one of the groups. ShotSpotter, Flock, and J&M Security are the 3 companies that have submitted bids, and those will be on a pilot starting in August, first part of August. And we'll do like we did with the body cams with that. We'll collect that data. We'll have meetings with the community. Those pilots are all going to be on the east side, but that does not mean that those are necessarily where those devices are going to ultimately land. Unfortunately, on East District, there'll be a number of opportunities to collect that data and see how those different companies and those different devices work. So that'll start in August. We'll probably collect data, I imagine, for about a month or so, and then we'll be sharing that and deciding which of these companies is best to go with. So that is in a nutshell, unless there's questions.
Thank you, Chief Taylor, for your update. Very good information. Are there any questions from council or comments?
Chief, I just wanted to thank you. You and your staff have been just really helpful in terms of having community conversations about violence in our community. I know I've participated in a couple with you, as well as a couple with your command staff and your commanders out in the district. And I've just, after the fact, received really positive feedback about everybody's willingness to have that conversation about violence in our community. And so I just wanted to say thank you for you and your team, always willing to engage in those conversations and engage with the community to try to come up with solutions to the violence that we face. And so I've appreciated that, and I know the community has as well. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, Prosecutor. Appreciate that.
Are there any more questions or comments? Again, Chief Taylor, thank you. Of course, you serve
Yes, ma'am.
as a board member, but thank you so much for coming and stopping by. And as Mr. Prosecutor said, adding another level of transparency and sharing that information. with us and with the community for those that are watching at home. All right, next agenda item, we will have a presentation from our Marion County Sheriff, Kerry Forstall. I'm not sure if it's a presentation or if it's just a discussion, or he will be sharing information with us about security at the new criminal justice campus.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It'd just be a brief, kind of bringing people up to date. We moved in as a sheriff's office last December. The two jails combined, as you all know, in January to the Adult Detention Center, and the courts joined the campus last month. We make security decisions and matters that affect others on a daily basis and will continue, but I think we're at a point where we can have a coordinated quarterly meeting with members, some of which would be some of the members or their proxies on this board, and some others that either work on the campus or deal daily with the campus. I've spoken with the public defender and the prosecutor and the representative of the court. So the plan is to have a quarterly meeting so people can all stay up to date, something that's already occurred or in the future, and make whatever decisions we need to continue to secure the campus out there. Just wanted to be sure this committee was aware.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments for Sheriff Forstall?
Thank you.
Okay. We don't, oh, council. Council.
Oh, yes.
Is there a vote necessary or anything by this body at this time? I know he was just sharing information on these quarterly meetings. Do you plan to come back and tell us when you plan to hold these quarterly meetings? Just what is the process?
If that would be the request, it's actually in the early stages to see what everyone else's schedule will allow. I know no one needs another meeting, but that's why we're going to allow to have proxies also, so that people would be able to send someone if they have a concern. So if the committee would like that at some point in time, I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah, I would even maybe throw the idea out there that maybe one of our meetings we could have or be a quarterly meeting instead of inviting guests in to speak. I don't know if that's something that is possible as well, but I think that's a great idea, that you have quarterly meetings to keep everyone informed and even this body all on the same page, right? So that's something that we can discuss, and I think we probably should, rather that be an email to all of the council members, your idea or what you would like, your vision for moving forward in regard to just sharing that information. I guess we could talk further about your idea on, again, how to get that done and how this body can participate.
That'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Next is the agenda item. We will hear from Colonel Martin. Colonel Martin will give us an adult detention center numbers update. Welcome, Colonel Martin, and it's always great to see you.
Thank you. Madam Board and other members, I appreciate your time today. We're just going to go over the adult detention center numbers. It's been staying pretty flat, pretty stable, and we're definitely fortunate for that. Today's count, as of 9 a.m. this morning, it's 2335. Had a total capacity of free beds of 650, which is a very good thing for us. I'll switch to the next chart and I'll kind of show you on the graph. So the red line is our capacity of 2985. The yellow line is what we consider our crisis level with our 2,400 beds with our staffing plan and budget and other things. And you can kind of see we're kind of riding that line, but it's been pretty flat since we moved in. The next chart just represents the number of our HEA 1006. Today we have 128. Our 90-day average was 127 over 90 days. And then the chart below it just kind of represents where we would be if we didn't have the HEA 1006 in our building. And then the last chart we'll talk about and we'll discuss is this represents all the lead charges of everyone in our custody. You can see that the murders 182, level 1 felonies are 110, level 2 is 245, which is significantly higher than what we had several years ago. I know it was a quick presentation. We're all pretty used to seeing these numbers. I went through it pretty quick, but I will be happy to take any questions that you guys might have.
Are there any questions from council for Colonel Martin? Comments?
Making it too easy on me.
Thank you
I
for
would
your
appreciate it. Thank
presentation. Thank you for the update. All right, seeing that that is our last agenda item, before we adjourn, I will just share with everyone that our next Criminal Justice Planning Council meeting will be held on July 18th, 2022 at 4 p.m. right here in room 260. Now that we have that out of the way, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.